I'll try to be brief. I may have a few things that people have already beaten to death for you. I'm from Susan Hanbury Martin, and I'm from Bibb County. Just listening, there certainly are a lot of citizens who are represented from around the state. Crawford, Twiggs, Washington, Lamar, Bibb, someone from here in Atlanta. I'm not sure what county that is. I see two things that are bad in the bill. One is that it allows landfills in the recharge area, and it also changes the kinds of things you can put in a landfill and encourages yard waste and sludge to be placed in the landfill too. We have to have landfills. That's not a big secret, and it's also probably not a big secret that landfills generate big money, lots of money, and money talks, particularly in poor counties. That being said, we have to be honest about the downsides. They pollute, they stink, and they place a burden on those who live nearby, both financially, as they suffer decreased property values, and personally, as they're forced to live with foul odors and constant truck traffic. People in Bibb County put up with it all the time. Because the downsides to landfills are so great, it behooves us to use them wisely, to site them wisely. Two things can help us do this. One is to minimize their use, and number two is to make what we put into the landfill safer. It makes no sense to allow sludge and yard waste in landfills. A few years ago, we mandated a 25% decrease in waste going to the landfills in Georgia, and that was a good idea. Most counties made that up by not allowing yard waste going into landfills. We don't want to fill them up. This is some of the most expensive real estate on the planet. We need to make them last as long as possible, which means that we need to keep the things that don't belong in the landfill out of the landfill. Yard waste is compost in its infancy, and that's what we need to do with it. We don't need to put it in the landfill. That's the best thing we can do. We also don't want to put sludge in landfills. That requires a different kind of handling, and it requires a different look at the problem. Stricter laws will keep Georgia from becoming a dumping ground for the Northeast. Stricter laws in other states have made Georgia a low-cost dumping alternative, and is this what we really want for our state? We have an obligation to take care of our own waste, but I certainly don't feel an obligation to take care of New Jersey's waste. There's another hazard from putting yard waste and other things in the landfill, and that brings me to the second point, which is to make the landfill safer. Yard waste produces organic acids as it breaks down, and these acids help leach the toxins into the leachate and out of the landfill. And please know this, all liners leak. I know you've heard that. I'm going to read directly from the EPA document. This is in the Federal Register. Some have argued that liners are devices that provide perpetual seal against any migration from a waste management unit. The EPA has concluded that the more reasonable assumption based on what is known about the pressures placed on landfill liners over time is that any liner will begin to leak eventually. When they leak over a recharge area, they will contaminate the groundwater. And we can't clean groundwater. It sounds like such an easy thing to do, but it's not. You can't do it in practice. The only thing we can say about groundwater for sure is that it moves. We don't know where, we don't know how, and you can't clean it. When the landfills leak, many things will cause the liners to fail. They have holes in them as they're produced. There are welds and part seams that are connecting them together. They have holes in them. But a lot of other things will also cause the landfill liners to leak. These are substances that will go through the liners themselves, and as they go through, they will weaken it. Here are some things: gasoline, toluene, xylene, mothballs, pesticides, vinegar, and all other acids, cider, lard, margarine, vanilla extract, detergent, hair oil, shampoo, hand cream, lighter fluid, nail polish remover, alcohol. That's a short list. If any of us have thrown these things into a landfill, we are contributing to the degradation of the liner. And if that's over a recharge area, we're poisoning our own wells. I would urge you strongly not to pass this bill, to protect the consumers in the state, protect the health and safety of the people who live here, and let's find some other alternatives to siting landfills and to also prevent Georgia from becoming a dumping ground. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.